It's one of the most popular game modes on the most popular Minecraft server in the world, sparking so many memories and builds. But how and why is it so popular? Skyblock started as a prototype on Hypixel way back in 2019, taking the already much loved concept of Skyblock and combining it with RPG mechanics. Now, Skyblock is what we call a persistent game mode. This means that when you stop playing and come back, all of your game data is still there. There's been a history of persistent game modes on Hypixel with Housing and The Pit, and they were both incredibly well received, and the community were quite open with the possibility of a new persistent game mode being added. This is where Skyblock comes in. Unlike traditional Skyblock, Hypixel loaded their Skyblock with so much content that some players actually complained that it was overwhelming. I mean, there are over a bazillion, over 90 collections to unlock. There is so much content in Skyblock and it seems endlessly expanding. Just a month after it was released, the End update brought new powerful items like the Aspect of the End and Ender Armor. Skyblock's popularity is certainly increased by the huge amount of content. If you don't enjoy combat, you can be a farmer in the gardens, completing challenges and maxing out your collections. If that's too tedious, since July 2020, the dungeons are an option. This is my personal favourite. Otherwise, you can go mining or fishing or build on your island. However, Skyblock's content-rich nature definitely isn't the only reason for its popularity. Today, Skyblock's YouTube community is active, but it's been so much more active in the past. In 2020, the Skyblock community grew to an unprecedented level. We saw the rise of Skyblock YouTubers like Technoblade, with his series on the Potato War and literally becoming the mayor of Skyblock, the only player to have ever done this. Portal Hub for having the single most convenient island on Skyblock, the clues in the name why. Timedeo for having way too many coins, and so many more. These people dragged so much attention to Skyblock, and without them it would not be where it is today. Skyblock YouTubers are one of the most crucial elements to the game mode's success, but the next reason is possibly even more influential than the last two. In 2020, everyone was forced to stay at home thanks to a global pandemic. This led to a huge spike in players in games everywhere, and Minecraft saw numbers higher than ever before. Skyblock was literally the perfect game for this time period. Everybody was pretending to do schoolwork and needed something easy to do in the background. The grindy nature of the game meant that people could spend the hundreds of hours they had at home grinding Skyblock. The amount of players was immense. Hypixel saw player counts higher than ever before, and a lot of these players were playing, you guessed it, Skyblock. Skyblock saw over 100,000 players at once. During this time, Hypixel kept players engaged with several updates. For example, the Dungeon update introducing the Catacombs. There was also the Dwarven Mines update, but I'll talk more about that later. Finally, seasonal events like the Spooky Festival and Jerry's Workshop were added. But up next was one of the best periods in all of the game's history, the Mining update. That's right, one update determined the fate of the entire game mode. This isn't just any update though. This update brought us the Dwarven Mines. It brought an enormous content-rich area full of so much to do. You can do emissary commissions, mine mithril or titanium, or one of the other unique materials. The Dwarven Mines are huge. The important thing is people who previously had reached such high mining levels in the deep caverns now have more collections to waste their time on. There's so much in the Dwarven Mines that every time I go down there I get lost. Don't ask how, I just do. And that was before I unlocked the Crystal Hollows. The Crystal Hollows are an area of the Dwarven Mines, but much bigger. I get lost in the Dwarven Mines, but it's okay because the community have mapped them out, helping players find their way around, but parts of the Crystal Hollows are randomly generated. I'm utterly hopeless the second I step foot in there. Now, I may be a noob, but this area is a dream come true for someone in the Skyblock mining community. You can find pretty much anything down here, and adding new gemstones and mobs, this update brought so much more to do, keeping Skyblock ever engaging. Speaking of engaging, what's more fun than pressing W and left click for hours on end? You guessed it, time to talk about farming. That was a bit harsh of me. There is a satisfying element to running up and down my melon farm, and you can't deny it is a little bit fun. And if it wasn't at least a tiny bit fun, I wouldn't be talking about it. Before February 2023, it was all the rave to have a massive farm covering 99% of the land on your Skyblock island, and don't get me wrong, it worked. There was an entire war between Technoblade and I'm a Squid Kid for the #1 spot on the potato farming leaderboard. On February 14th, 2023, aka National Ferris Wheel Day, aka the day that the Garden update was released, everything changed. These massive farms became nothing more than a fall hazard because the garden gave us farming fortune and quests, and all without making our islands look ugly. That doesn't mean we got rid of the farms though, we don't have enough time for that. We have bazaar flipping to do. More on that later. The garden update gave players so much to do. This is why Skyblock is so popular. It's so nurtured and cared for and is loaded full of content. Now that you have infinite carrots, you're gonna need to sell them. Skyblock has quite a peculiar economy, an economy where some people think dirt is worth 13 million coins, and some people just really can't be bothered earning money, so spend so much time begging for money that they'd be billionaires if they spent their time making slime minions or something. But this is why Skyblock is so engaging. The economy is advanced, and a lot of the time, trading player to player, the old-fashioned way, is the best way to do things, so Skyblock actually encourages you to talk to people. Some of them are unreasonable, but some of them are nice. That's why Skyblock is so popular. The huge amount of content, the economy, but most importantly, the community. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!